Hello, everyone. Today we are so excited to launch a new campaign for Lynn Green, Things We Don't Say. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Megan. Thanks for having me on. Fun to chat with everyone today.
I know, we're so excited. I feel like there's been a great influx of historical fiction lately. So I can't wait for everybody to read this beautiful book. It was published in November, and we're so excited to be doing the campaign. So why don't you tell us just what inspired, what it's about, and then we can just talk from there.
Yeah, sure. So this is my debut novel. If you don't count the practice novels I have hiding in a drawer somewhere. And I always kind of knew in the back of my head, I wanted to write an epistolary novel. So a novel written entirely in letters and other documents. Ever since I was a little kid in the library and saw those like Dear America books. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember those.
I do.
The little bookmarks and you could find them on the shelves and
Yes.
get and read them. I just loved the ability in those stories that there was to tell the story from the character's point of view.
Mm.
Instead of hearing somebody else talk about what the character was doing, you actually heard from that person and the people in their lives. And then I read The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society as an
So good.
adult. I was hooked.
Yeah.
That one especially was fun because unlike other stories I had read where it's mostly from one person's point of view, you had so many different characters and all of their different voices and their different senses of humor playing in. So Things We Didn't Say is written entirely in letters and other documents and started with the idea of I found out that in my state of Minnesota where I live, there were German prisoner of war camps here. And some people
That
really,
was a part of history I did not know about.
yeah,
Like, what is happening? So,
I didn't either before writing this. So, and a lot of people I know didn't unless they had some connection to a town where there was a prisoner of war camp. It's a very little known World War II fact. So yeah, found that fact out and I thought, I feel like this is the one. This is the one that I can tell in letters. So it follows Jo Berglund, who she is a translator at the prisoner of war camp, who's kind of called back to her small town against her will, corresponding with her friend Peter, who's a Japanese American back in the Twin Cities, who was there at a top secret military spy training school, which actually existed not a few miles from my house, actually. So it tells a little bit of the story of that history, a little bit of the prisoner of war story, lots of fun drama and treason and espionage and just small town life and the collision of a prisoner of war camp of Germans, the enemy in this small American town.
I read this one and I sent you an email right after. I was like, what? We need a sequel. I was so hooked to the characters. And I think Jo is she's just kick butt. She's so cool. So cool. And I love just how you wrote her. And I love just what you said of letting them speak. I feel like the letters they're able, and even, regular people writing letters, it's a way to write, I feel like with your guard down a little bit, just a little more vulnerable. And you can get a sense of that when she's writing to Peter and, when he writes back, and it just, anyway, I'm like dying to know. I won't say anything, but I was just at the edge of my seat at the end, like, you can't leave it there, but I get it. I get it.
I've gotten many pleas for some sort of epilogue short story.
Yeah.
So who knows, that could be in the future. But it was so fun to write all of the different characters. And I love writing letters personally. I feel like it's a very lost art and have some friends that I get a chance to write letters to. And to be able to write a book that way was especially fun for me.
So what's, with the writing letter format, what's difficult about it?
Oh, yeah. So probably a lot of rewriting had to happen because there were things that were perfectly clear in my mind because I knew all of the backstory. But when you're writing only from the point of view of letters, you have to make sure that it's something that the characters would share. So if there's a particular character or characters who are lying about something, and they obviously wouldn't say that in any documented form, you have to place enough clues for the readers to figure out what's going on in the head of some of the characters, especially the ones you don't hear from as often.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a challenge of writing in this point of view. And it was a really, really fun challenge for me to tackle.
That's, yeah, I can see that, because nobody would, be writing like, I'm being dishonest right now.
Yeah. So hopefully, I think that's some of the fun of this format too, is that there's a lot that the reader gets to tell the story along with the characters and say like, ah, this person is saying this, but I really think they're feeling this other way, just based on some of the context clues. So I love having the readers joining in on the storytelling.
No, it was great. So, what type of reader, since you're a debut, I mean, you've basically, we know what to expect. It's letter format, historical fiction, the story, but, diving a little bit deeper of the type of characters that you write, since we're reading this, for the first time, an Amy
Mhm.
Lynn Green novel. So
Mhm.
what can we get from just depth of character and what to expect?
Yeah, sure. I'd say this would be a good fit for you if you really like ensemble cast stories where there's just a lot of interesting characters surrounding the main character, which I got a chance to do through the letters. Also, I got to put in some funny elements, which I think is different for World War II novels because most of them, for very obvious and good reasons, when they take place actually on battlefields and with related to the Holocaust, they're going to be more somber in tone. But we're in Minnesota during World War II, and Joe has a very snarky sense of humor. So I loved being able to include little bits of her sense of humor in the letters as well. So anybody who's interested in American history during the 1940s, especially if there are things that we've already said that you thought, huh, I never knew that existed. That was something that I've heard from a lot of people, is that they enjoyed the look at American history that they hadn't heard about before.
Yeah, I agree. I love World War II, but somewhere else than
Mhm.
the traditional, like, Europe World War II. So
Mhm.
I agree. This is, oh, I'm so excited. So
Me too.
this is launched today. Our link is in the profile. So make sure to apply. We can't accept everybody, even though we would love to, but we're so excited. So thank you for talking with me, and we'll just see where all this thing goes. So we're so excited.
Yeah, thanks, Megan.
Okay, bye.
Bye.